Today I'm breaking down two songs by Lunatic Soul, which is the side project of the lead singer and bassist of Riverside. They're from Poland. I actually don't know Riverside, but I have heard some of Lunatic Soul before, and one of the songs I'm analyzing today is one of those songs. So I'm really excited about it. I'm going to go in the order that these were released. So we're going to start with Summerland, and then go to Gutter, which... And that's the key of the first song. So thank you so much, Milo. This is really cool. It's kind of folky. It's a little bit atmospheric. It's got some really some nice drums that you can sink your teeth into, but it's not so heavy into the rock side of things. And thanks to my patron for commissioning this video. I think it's going to be a real treat for everyone. So let's get started. First, Summerland. Okay. Already so good, right? Very atmospheric and mystical. I feel like I'm in an enchanted forest and I like it. So there's some piano. Let's figure that out. A C-sharp Dorian sound. And Dorian totally matches that magical forest. It's such a beautiful, it's kind of a dark scale, but it also has light shining through. And that's this note, the sixth note. That one. So piano has this really nice riff at the bottom that's approximately, and this really gets us into the key that we're in, the C sharp, and the little bit of the darkness, but it's also kind of ambiguous because of it. The fourth, the fifth, and the second, and the root. That's really all. So we haven't really tapped into the super emotional major and minor qualities of the scale yet. It's almost a blank slate, but it really does anchor you in our home base. So no chord changes here. And then the next riff that comes in, you'll hear a lot in the song, which is up here, and it's played with intervals. So there's the same note on the bottom, and then the top one is the one that moves, and that creates sort of the melodic line. And it goes approximately. I might have the rhythm a little bit wrong, but... And this is describing that Dorian sound so beautifully. Right there, and then there. So this is called the sixth, and this is the flat seven. And they're a half step apart, and it's like a tense part in the scale, and it's only a half step apart. So there's a lot of emotion and magnetism there. And then the drums are really cool. I love how there's some kind of a snare sound, but it has this rolling kind of sound that I find unusual. And every time it hits, I'm it gives me the shivers. It's beautiful.
Procession in the rain, love the brand new house. Everyone cries, everyone cares, or maybe just pretends.
Oh, okay. So something I'm noticing here, I think the phrases are actually elongated. And what is phrasing exactly? I don't know what the actual definition of phrasing is, but the way I'm using it is that there's the time signature, which is, how many beats are in a bar. But then there's how many times do those bars repeat before a section ends and the new section begins. Often that's an even number, 4 or 8, but I think this might be uneven, or maybe it's 6. We'll count it. But either way, it feels almost like there's extra bars in the phrase, which makes you kind of have to lean in and wait a little bit. That's something I didn't expect, because everything else sort of feels like it's even phrasing and 4/4. So we'll figure that out. But also I'm noticing there's a acoustic guitar that is playing, I think, like the 7th, like a lot of this. Maybe like that, just like a suspended chord. It's really pretty. His melody is also kind of keeping that almost folky open sound that this piano riff is doing. It just sounds like a folk song. It's really pretty. There's a little bit of a chord movement here. To the flat 7 chord, which is just the one right below our home bass. So it doesn't have anything in common with home, but it is nearby. So it's a very natural place to go, and it creates a nice bold sound.
Oh, it's your big moment, by the way.
Okay, there was a 4 chord.
Cold-hearted inference that they were your best friends.
Okay. Da 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 da. Ah, cool. So it feels more like, to me, that like they have a bar of 4, then they have a bar of 2, and then they have a bar of 4. So there's almost like this. You could either think of it as a hesitation or a preemption. There's like a preemption's not a word, is it? Sort of like moving away quicker than you expected to something else. Da 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 da. I love that. Did you hear the drums? It's like shaker.
You never would expect.
And here, kind of an extra bar.
Oh, it's your big moment, by the way.
That's the Dorian spot. So the Dorian progression that lives in my head all the time is this one. It's just really, really compelling, like Wicked Game and Mad World. They use that progression. So great. So I love how they kind of waited to give that to you until the second repetition in the verse. And there's that piano part, right?
Would you like to tell them something? Do you remember what you said when I looked into your eyes for the first time? I know you're not quite ready yet. Love is nothing to be afraid of. You're so alone.
So there's the chorus. And you probably heard that there's some really interesting stuff in there. There was some chromaticism that I wasn't expecting. And there's also my favorite functional chord, which is, it's not a sexy name, I'm sorry, but it's called the flat 6. And it's all over my channel because it's just so incredible. And it seems to be universally loved. Right before it, we were playing. What's cool about it is that right before it, they're playing the 4 chord and then go to the flat 6, which is not really related to the 4 chord in its major status. And this movement I've learned is called a chromatic mediant, and it is amazing. It's so dramatic. So there's chromaticism in the movement here. That's why I wasn't expecting that, but I always welcome a flat 6. And then I think there's a C chord right before they return to the C sharp. So that's the chromaticism there. really dark sounding, actually. And I also think the phrasing is elongated or pushed and pulled a little bit. Beautiful high upper filtering synths, maybe pads. Man, I'm obsessed with that.
On the wall in a waiting room, still life in a frame.
Nice.
At the end of the corridor, someone screams your name.
I love how they brought in the drums like where they did. It felt sort of like not where I'd expect them to come in. So a lot of little unexpected entrances, exits, phrasing, ear candy, and chord changes to keep you. It's like, even though folk music feels very familiar, the way they're implementing it doesn't.
Someone screams your name. Oh, it's your big moment, by the way. Would you like to tell him something? Do you remember what you said when I looked into your eyes for the first time? I know you're not quite ready yet, but there's nothing to be afraid of. You're silent.
Cool. It might take me a little while to actually like get the hang of the movement, but the chorus, it kind of feels like maybe it starts here because they're in the verse. They go into so that's that flat 6, and then surprise to C, and then C sharp, but not for long. But then we're here again, and they stay here for a while. Definitely this chord has more weight than the others. And then I think from here they go back down. Yeah. So his melody kind of follows those chords, including the chromatic one that you don't expect. This is the beautiful resolution to that 4, the Dorian sound, to the dramatic flat 6, and then kind of a harmonic minor situation here. But we're back here, but not for long. We stay here and then we go. And then I think here, and then back here. So pretty. And his voice is so beautiful. I think he's mostly double tracked, which maybe that's like a folky thing to do, but I do feel like I've heard it a lot. Like Scarborough Fair is double tracked, and it creates this almost like smooth, silvery sound when you sing in a kind of a breathy way. Okay. Is that a guitar or bass? A lot more of this guitar or bass has a lot of subdivision rhythms, so that it feels like it's quickening. Now this chord progression is mostly handled by like the descending bass line. 1, and then down to the 4. So we hit flat 6 on the way, which is fantastic. I'm kind of hearing parallel thirds here. Kind of hearing like. approximately. And then it breaks into the flat 6 and ends on the 4. Back home. Man, those vocal harmonies. I think he does it again so we can break them down again. No, actually, I don't think he does. One more time then. So this must be him singing. It sounds almost like a pad. Oh my God. I love that. It's gorgeous. Tension, the ninth. Now it feels like a bookend. Give me all the progressive folk you got. That song was from their debut album, Lunatic Soul, in 2008. This next song, Gutter, which is the one I already know, is from their 2014 album, Walking on a Flashlight Beam. This one has a sick, like, bass breakdown. Shaker on this one also.
They crawl out from the dark, permeate through my door, float in the hallway, slowly blend into the walls.
Some intricate bass stuff going on, but the overall thing I'm hearing is the B and the C. And then he comes in with this right, that has a delay on it. And I love that note. It's kind of an unstable note in the scale, which is the 4th. And it gives it this mystical sound. But this gives it a really dark sound, because this reminds me of Phrygian, which has this really heavy, low, flat 2. We have a shaker, so we know it's in 4. And the rhythm of the bass gives you kind of a syncopated, almost a little bit polyrhythmic. So all of this is pulling us in. And it also has almost a restrained feeling, like something is going to explode out of this, or it's going to grow into something. So I guess the guitars and bass are kind of in unison.
They crawl out from the dark, permeate through my door, float in the hallway, slowly blend into the walls.
So he starts singing and he sounds floaty. So it's perfect because he's talking about these creatures that are hiding in the dark but floating around. And so the darkness is handled down here, and he's representing the floating. That's kind of how it feels to me. This melody. Nice. Leaning on that tension. Sorry, we're in B? Okay. That's a flat 6 note. Oh, there's a pattern. So the 5th, then flat 6, then flat 7. So there's kind of this almost like he keeps reaching up higher and higher in his melody up the scale. Da da da. That's the tension of the flat 7. Da 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 da. Resting on that 4th again, and then. And then finally resolution. Da, 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 da. It's so haunting. Ooh. Ooh. Very dissonant. Yeah. So these ethereal vocals and the note choices he's made definitely put me on edge. Like, you know, if I didn't already feel like something's crawling out of the gutter, now I do. So I heard like, I think that's, yeah. If I were to try to put that all on a scale, it wouldn't really work out. Just think of it more as chromatic and sort of working against everything. Okay, hand cymbals maybe? Love that sound. Really nice rhythmic play.
In the shadow of my grave, I can hear whispered sounds. Feel a cold breath on my skin. Here they come.
That is so great.
Here they come.
Love it.
To assert their rights.
It's funny, I stopped it right before he resolves it, but he gives you this space to be in this unstable place with him. Here they come to assert their rights. Sometimes it's good to make the listener wait, or to have to like actually experience what you've left them with. More cool percussion. Okay. I love this chorus. It's so incredibly beautiful. Fear is what I need to be. Second time, fear is what I need to feel. Why is this so pretty? Well, first he goes to this minor 4 chord. Remember the other song, there was a major 4 chord because it was Dorian? Well, this one's not going to give you that cushion. It's minor. That was diminished. There we go. Fear is what I need. Well, first of all, the first note he sings creates this beautiful dissonance called like a ninth against what? Oh man. What I need. And that big jump down is also amazing. What I need. Sixth. Big interval. And it's just, and he has to go to his falsetto for the I and need for the lower note into his chest voice. So you get that break. What I need. I love that sound. Then he does, instead of do-do-do, he reverses directions and moves the bass down to this chord. What I need. But he doesn't play the whole thing. It's mostly just this note. What I need to feel. This is a particular half-step resolution in a minor scale or Phrygian or any of those scales that are really dark. Flat 6 to 5. Like this is in Something I Can Never Hide by Nine Inch Nails. It's in Uninvited by Alanis Morissette. It's in Halloween Theme by John Carpenter. It's everywhere because it's so powerful. Feel. You just feel like that note has to go down. Feel. And then the last part of the chorus.
So I drag myself into this guttered mind where shades of gray feed on my soul.
obsessed with that part. Let's look at the last part of the chorus, though. It starts again on the 4 chord. So I drag myself into this, and then we get a dominant chord, which is going to be the F sharp. So I dragged myself into this gutter. That's so cool because he has to reach down to sing the first part of gutter, but then the second part is way up high. And I don't know, intuitively that feels really interesting. Gutter. Like you would assume you could like gutter, like it's down, but it's gutter. And also just switching notes on the second half of gutter. Gutter of mine back home with where shades of prey feed on my soul. Okay, so this progression is minor 4, 5 chord, but major, which is a harmonic minor hallmark, and it makes you want to go back home really strongly. Which we do, but then we plummet down into the gutter. Sorry. 1, flat 7, flat 6, and then continue down to that 5 chord again, and then we stay here for a while. And what he sings as we're down here with him is so cool. The major third on the way down. So then at the end. This whole run is basically half step, half step, half step. And you heard me talking about those half steps. They are points of magnetism. Human beings are very compelled by half steps. Half step, half step, half step. And that's just the way this scale works. Then this amazing riff, which I don't know if I could figure out all the things about it, but wow. Love how the percussion changes at that last part. Like a call and response almost.
So I drag myself into this gutter of mine, where shades of gray feed on my soul.
Patterns rhythmically are so satisfying to me. It has that polyrhythmic feeling again. Da 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 da, which is a 4 against 3. Sorry. Do 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 do, and that's on the one. Really dark sounding. But the second time, he incorporates these little runs. Da 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 da. I don't have it memorized, unfortunately. But you heard how cool that is. The second time they do it, he has a guitar, I think, harmonizing like a fifth above it in parallel. That's so awesome. Always loved this part from here to here, and now I know why. It's because this is a major 7th chord, and this is a minor 7th chord. So there's a major to minor switch, which is a really cool mixture. but since there's a fourth note on it, this one also goes down when you go to the minor version. So there's these beautiful half step changes. Then to a C major. Then to the B. Wait, G. God damn. He's like singing into the changes. It's so amazing. I love it. I will say this bridge feels like a momentary relief from the darkness. The pads and also just the tonality, the harmonies, the seventh chords, they feel like they're cushioning you and hugging you. And there's not, the bass riff is still going, but everything feels like it's more floaty and higher and just more comforting. I love that too. Almost reminds me of like Tears for Fears or something. Some of the harmony and also just that pulse. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of there. Now we're back to the chorus. Okay, you ready for the bass breakdown? This is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Approximately. Reverse guitars. Love this low growl. Okay, now up to E. Same exact riff, basically. As this new line on top with some drums. Luckily, he's got the kick drum on the beats that's just kind of keeping us grounded, but it's really fun because of the play against that beat. Syncopation isn't anything without something to be syncopated against. That tone is so rattly. Bites you. Offbeat hi-hats. Still Phrygian dominant on this guitar solo. I love so that's how they transition back out of it. Is there's a line, almost sounds like a synth. It could be, I'm not sure, but it goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right. So this is the bridge, but without the ethereal vocals. Good way to transition back. This feels like coming out of the gutter.